Thwarted by Congress, President Trump going solo to stop Obamacare from continuing to cause household chaos and costs to soar. Signing an executive order he says will bring health insurance costs down and help millions of people.
It directs the Department of Health and Human Services, the Treasury, and the Department of Labor to take action to increase competition, increase choice, and increase access to lower-priced, high-quality health care options. And they will have so many options. This will cost the United States government virtually nothing, and people will have great, great health care.
Traders reacting, the Dow reversing its downward course as the president signed the order. Health insurers and hospital stocks reacted as well. Health insurer stocks like Humana and Cigna closing the day in the green. Hospital stocks like Community Health Services and Tenet Healthcare also closing up. Let's bring author of, well, also mixed down to the downside, some of them. We're going to bring in Ben Stein. He's the author of a new book, The Capitalist Code. It can save your life and make you very rich. Ben Stein is here on the president's solo move to fend off the death spiral of Obamacare. Good to see you, Ben.
Good to see you. Thank you so much.
What did you think of the executive order today?
Well, I think it's a great idea to try to stop the death spiral of Obamacare, but how he is going to get to have people have health insurance when there is no alternative now to Obamacare is a very good question. I mean, Obamacare has many, many, many faults, and Mr. Obama told many, many untruths about it when he was in the process of building it up. But the sad fact is that Mr. Trump's plan doesn't really help all that much. I mean, he's not going to have a plan whereby any person anywhere in the United States can sign up for health care, which Obamacare did allow. And that is a very, very big omission in the United States of America.
Well, he's
the
forming,
ordinary American
he's
now
forming
has to go back to the drawing board.
Sorry, Ben, he is doing the lower cost plans that don't come stocked with all of the requirements and the benefits that Obamacare has, and he's trying to form, insurance pools where you can buy insurance across state lines. That'll bring costs down, right?
Well, it doesn't really. I mean, it gets a little bit complicated, but if you have somebody wanting to buy insurance who's in New York and he wants to buy it at Mississippi prices, that's not going to last long, because soon all the expensive providers will go to Mississippi too, and all the lawsuits will go to Mississippi too, and Mississippi prices will go up too. You cannot achieve any kind of miracle by allowing people to buy across state lines. It'll work for a year or two, but it's not going to work for very long. Look, the problem with health care has always been it's unbelievably expensive. It's mind-blowingly expensive in this country compared to how it is in other countries, and there's just no easy way to stop that except to have higher taxes and to assign some of the money from those higher taxes to pay for the health care. There's just no easy way out of it. Mr. Obama tried for an easy way out. It didn't work. Mr. Trump is trying for an easy way out. I don't see how that's going to work either. It's just an incredibly difficult problem.
President Trump, let's get to this story. His Chief of Staff, General John Kelly, trying to quell a firestorm of media reports saying he's halfway out the door. The general made a surprise appearance at today's press briefing to address this anonymously sourced report. It says he's quitting. Let's watch.
I'm not quitting today. I don't believe, and I just talked to the president, I don't think I'm being fired today. I am not so frustrated in this job that I'm thinking of leaving. It's funny, I read in the paper, well, you all know, you write it, that, I've been a failure at controlling the president, or a failure at controlling his tweeting and all that. Again, I was not sent in, or I was not brought to this job to control anything but the flow of information to our president so that he can make the best decisions.
Are you frustrated?
No, I'm not frustrated. This is really, really hard work, running the United States of America. I don't run it, but I'm working for someone who is dedicated to serving the country. I don't mean any criticism to Mr. Trump's predecessors, but there was an awful lot of things that were, in my view, kicked down the road that have come home to roost pretty much right now that have to be dealt with.
What do you think, Ben?
I think that Mr. Trump must be one of the most difficult people in the world to work for. I mean, the turnover at high levels of government just in his first several months in office has been phenomenal. The conversation that comes out about the way he treats people is phenomenal. On the other hand, I think he's a phenomenally intelligent and capable guy, and he is trying very, very hard to turn around the flow of history and make us from a giant government country into a small government, pro-free enterprise country. And I give him a lot of credit for that. Free enterprise is his watchword, and free enterprise is what made this country great. And I think Mr. Kelly will stay on unless he's terribly insulted by somebody. He's a Marine. Marines don't quit.